Hey everyone, welcome back to the Jailbreak trading series, and today I am trading the Celsior. Now if you've played during any one of my streams, or if you've seen some other Jailbreak trading videos, then you know I love talking about the Celsior. I mean, just look at it. It is so broken. It is honestly such a fantastic vehicle, and as you can see, I think it is probably one of the best deals that you could get in trading right now. I think this vehicle goes for just over 10 million, and I think it is such a good vehicle to invest into. And here we go. We could actually find the Stonehead. I think this is actually really funny seeing this, and the Rick meme is right under these stairs. But that being said, the Celsior is just so fun to use. I think its hovering feature is so useful. I mean, take a look. Most vehicles would be stuck when going across this river, but the Celsior goes for that with absolutely no problem. It is literally a drone. How much better does it get than that? It hovers over water, it hovers over terrain. It is absolutely ridiculous. And what on earth? I didn't even know there were like these little parts over here. That's actually hilarious. What on earth is this doing here? What the heck? That wasn't really expected. But yeah, this vehicle is just totally worth the price. And that being said, we're going to be seeing what players offer for the Celsior. I think this is going to be a great vehicle to get offers for, just because there's a lot of people interested in it. Unlike the helicopters, you can actually spawn this in anywhere. As you can see, I'm going to get out of the Celsior and then I'm going to get back in it, and look at that. I could spawn in the Celsior anywhere, and this works in the regular game as well. So let's send a trade to K. I think he was in the last training video, and let's see what he offers for the Celsior. And this is actually a really good trade for the Celsior. I think this is totally worth it, because keep in mind, this Celsior has absolutely no trouble climbing any terrain. And as you can see in the background, I just made it over that hill without a problem. So I think this is a very good trade. And here's what I think about the JB8. The JB8 is very good. It is 41 times shooter, but I think I can let that slide. We've got a Bloxy over here, gold texture, jetpack spore. That is actually going for a good amount right here. Parisian, Posh, and overdrive spore. So overall, just a lot of stuff over here. And yeah, I think if you were getting trades for the Celsior, this is what I would look for. Now keep in mind, my Celsior is worth 1 time traded, so that means it can get even higher overpays, but I think this is really the sweet spot over here. Just one very good vehicle, and in this scenario, it's actually the JB. I think the JB is a very good collector's vehicle. I already made a training review of it, so if you want to take a look at what it goes for and whether you should get it, I think that would be worthwhile to take a look at. As you guys know, it recently got some buffs, so it's much more useful to use than it used to be. So I think the JB is a good vehicle. Bloxy is really nice. I think that is what makes up for the concepts value, because I had to add in to balance out the trade. That's a very nice vehicle as well. And then we've got the rest of the vehicles, including the Parisian. Parisian's actually still rising, so this is actually a really good trade for the Celsior, and I really appreciate K's time over here showing this trade, so I'll definitely feature him in the video. And even if you have to overpay to get yourself a Celsior like this, I think it is still worthwhile to consider, just because look at how good the Celsior is in the background. I mean, it flies over every hill, and the best part is if you have the Prime Garage, then it can actually be spawned anywhere on the map. I think the Celsior is probably one of the most broken vehicles in the game right now. So if you are also considering looking at the crew capsule, I'll have a crew capsule jailbreak training series part 2 video coming up soon about that vehicle. But I think the Celsior is way better, just because it has 4 seats instead of 3. It has also a higher top speed, and I think the Celsior is better than the crew capsule. So if you were considering getting the crew capsule, I would definitely just get the Celsior instead. My problem with the crew capsule is it's very hard to determine what direction you're going to be going in, and that being said, the crew capsule's top speed is also lower, and it seats 1 less person than the Celsior. So I think the Celsior is definitely a vehicle worthwhile considering. And if you were already going to invest 7 million upfront for a crew capsule, I think the extra 5 million for a Celsior would be a worthwhile investment. So once again, I want to thank K for this offer, and I'll be seeing what other players have to offer for the Celsior. All right, we've got another player offering for the Celsior, and we're going to throw it in right over here. So it's going to be really tough to beat that last trade. I think that is actually the perfect trade for the Celsior, like no joke. I just had to add in the concept, and then he gave me so many good ads, so I think that was actually a really good trade. But let's see what this player has to offer. A Snake, Full Bike, and Hyper Diamond. Now, I actually heard a few things of the Snake actually going up in value a little bit, so there will definitely be a Snake video eventually, but as of right now, it's still not much better than a $1 million vehicle. So even though you can get rid of it for slightly higher, I just don't think it's going to be worth a Celsior. And then he kind of messed up the training filter value just because he threw in the Hyper Diamond. So if anyone is giving you a Hyper Diamond, I would just tell them to remove it. And in this scenario, I don't think a Hyper Diamond is really going to work out. I just don't see a point in training for a Hyper Diamond. It's really not worth the time. There you go. We got another player, and here is the Celsior. We're going to throw it in again, and let's check this guy's inventory. All right, and he doesn't really have that many limited, so I'm probably going to have to decline this trade. But that being said, let's do one more trade to get an idea of what the Celsior is worth. Alright, we've got another player over here, and we're going to be offering them the Celsior, and they are offering the Javelin. Now, guess what? There's going to be a Javelin video coming up very soon, but the Javelin's value unfortunately dropped, so if you didn't sell already, there's a lot of panic sellers because it's not going to be worth anywhere near as much, and that is kind of unfortunate. That is what happens when you hyperinflate a value. Even though I think the Javelin is still a really good vehicle, it's probably looking to go down to 6 million now, and it's unfortunate because I'm not sure if that's also going to hurt the Parisian in the process. But as you can see here, he is offering the Javelin Gold camo texture, 3 billion spoiler scope rims, and teddy bear rims, which is an okay amount, but as you guys know, I probably am not going to do it. And to balance it out, I guess I could throw in a Proto 8, but still, I don't think the ads over here really make up for it, especially gold. Everything after the gold isn't that appealing, so I'm going to back out of this trade. All right, this is going to be the last player I am trading today, and there you go. We just threw in the Celsior, and okay concept. Now, here's the thing. The concept already automatically unbalances the trade, and I have to add for it. What if I throw in my own concept and see what he ends up adding for the Celsior? Okay, so he's thrown in a bunch of obtainables. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be doing this just because if you own the Celsior, then I would consider getting limiteds for sure. I don't see why you wouldn't get limiteds for the Celsior. I guess you could argue the Hyper Red is limited, but it's really not a good one just because I haven't really been able to upgrade the Hyperchromes if I get them from trading. I mean, the Jet is okay, but you can't spawn it in everywhere. The Celsior is good enough for just about everything I do in the main game. I mean, it already traverses terrain so well. Yeah, I'm not surprised he backed out of the trade just because that was a pretty rough offer for the Celsior. But that being said, I hope you were able to take away what the Celsior goes for. I think it's honestly such a great vehicle to get in trading, and it's one of the most underrated vehicles in the game just because if you own the Premium Garage, take a look at this. You can literally spawn in the Celsior anywhere just like that, and here's the way I would look at it. If you're in a police chase, you can literally spawn in the Celsior and never get pit maneuvered, and it's also pretty hard to shoot down this vehicle just because it hovers low to the ground. So just because it flies low to the ground, that means it's actually harder to hit than if it were flying high up in the air, and I think that is honestly such a major advantage of the Celsior. Seriously, if you don't already own the Celsior and you're looking into getting one, just pull the trigger on it. I think it's such a good vehicle to trade for just because you're getting so much out of it. I think its performance is just amazing, and for what you get from the Celsior, I think it should honestly go for way more. And I will keep on saying this again, when trading released, I always told everyone in my streams to get the Celsior because I knew it would go up in value a lot. And so back then it used to be worth 4 million, but now it's going for like 13 million-ish. And just so you guys know, that value is only going to become even higher. So if you don't already own the Celsior, it would be worthwhile to consider getting it just because it's going to be a very expensive vehicle. I'm honestly thinking over the next 6 months it's going to go up to 20 million. If it doesn't, then I'd be surprised, but just because of how useful this vehicle is and because of how rare it is getting, I think it is totally worth the purchase. And that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining me in today's jailbreak training video. Now, if you want to see some more jailbreak training videos, then there is a playlist in the description below, and if you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. But that being said, if you liked the video, make sure to like, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.